Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. So today we will again do something from Andreas Wannerstedt here. So we will recreate this one here. And yeah, and I want to show you two ways how you can make some animations like this, or this one here from Wannerstedt. This and here, this one I will do with Espresso, with the time node. And we could do the same here as well, but the time node is not so accurate. So here I make it without Espresso, and I show you both ways. And I will maybe I said yes. I will texture it with Octane and physical render, because this is very easy to texture. So this we need nothing. We need 3 materials and that's it. Okay. Good, so let's start. I would say first I start with the path for the pendulum here. Or let's say, or no, first thing I show it this with this one for the time node for Espresso, and then we do the other one. This is better. So okay, let's make this disk here, something like this. I don't recreate this one, so do something like this, front view, and I do this a little faster because this, you all know how this works, and this is not really heavy. So 200 by 200 maybe. Make it with a little something like this. So let's see, 80 now. Let's make 50s. No, 50 is too less. Or it doesn't matter. It's okay, 50 here, and I make it editable. C on the keyboard. Then point mode, and with KK I make a line cut here somewhere. So hold my shift key, so I make a straight cut. Okay. Then in point mode I select these points here, T for scale, and scale it down here. So bring it a little down here, so something like this. And this is one side of one part of this here, so something like that. Okay, then I bring this up here, so something like this. It does not matter, this has not to be perfect here. So now I put it in a cloner and make 4 clones of this. Boom, 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 boom. Now come on, cloner. Hold my Alt key, so the cloner becomes parent here. Radial, 4 clones I want. And here, see, okay, that looks nice. Something like this here. Good, looks nice. Then I want another spline, a circle spline. Bring the circle spline for the moment under the cloner, just to make a reset PSR here. Now it is circle spline. It's not in the middle. Let's see. Oh, now the circle spline is exactly the reset PSR. Makes something. When I bring it under the cloner and hit reset PSR, so reset position, scale and rotation, it has then the same position like the cloner, and so I'm exactly in the middle here. That is what I want. Make this here a little smaller. T for scale, I make it a little smaller, so this should be my. Okay, looks nice so far. Go here to adaptive, which is normally the default setting. Okay, now I take this whole thing, so I make spline mask and put the cloner and the circle in the spline mask. So this is not what I want. Here I go to viewport, render view. Okay, and I want A subtract B not. B subtract A. This should work, but it does not. And an or an and. no, 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 intersection, no. Not normally this should work, but it does not really. So let's go along Y. See, along X, along render view here, it works correctly, and let's try it differently. Make it so, at first a circle, now it works, okay. Now we have it, and I can make here, simply hit C on the keyboard, and I have my, oh, no, it seems that it does not work like that, so let's go and current state to object. Let's see if this works. Okay, current state to object seems to work. Okay, good. Now I have my spline here and bring it in the middle of the scene. So again, first I select my spline and I center the axis here. So I have here the magic center. So it's here in the middle. Now, if you don't have the plugin, the magic center, it's a free plugin, you find it in the description. You have here the axis center tool. Here you can center the axis, and you will find this tool as well here under mesh axis center here. Okay, now we simply make here an extrusion, so extrude. I hold my Alt key and click on extrude. So not so 10. And if I want to have this everything centered, I have to go with the spline. I have an extrude of 10 now, so I have to go with the spline in the Z-axis to -5, and now I am exactly in the center of the scene here. Okay, good. Maybe to make it a little bit nicer, I can create caps. And 3 steps with 1 centimeter, and this should work. Okay, we have this thing, and now we need a pendulum. This should go quite fast. As I said, I make this a little faster because I think you all know how to make simple objects in this thing. So T for scale. And you know as well, if you have any questions, you can ask me whenever you want. So, and I will answer, of course, too. Okay, then make the cone here on the top a little bigger, so something like this. Okay, looks nice. I don't need, this is just just to show you how it works, so we don't need here many things here. So make it editable. So I use my edit optimize script, you know it, and I select this in the middle, this one, so, and hold my control key and drag the polygons up here so that I have my pendulum. So okay, pendulum. And I want the axis of the pendulum, of course, here on the top where it rotates. So now I take the axis center tool here and go with the y-axis to the right and the auto update. You see the axis is now here on top. Okay, and when I rotate it, of course, I have this pendulum thing here. Oops, okay, not so, but you know what I mean. So back here, so okay, and now with the thing comes in with the pendulum thing here. So I have my project has 25 frames per second, you see, and I have 100 frames, so I have 4 seconds. And so I want a whole rotation, so this is 360 degrees for the disc in this 4 seconds. So this is a easy thing. So let's go to the, we could do this in Expressor too, but I make it here now because this is just in the, which axis is it? Yeah, the B axis. I make a keyframe on the frame 0, then I go to frame 100, and here to 359. Why not 360? Because when I would do here 360, the frame 100 and the frame 0 would be exactly the same, and you see it then in the animation. So you go to here and then to 359, and then at 0 it would start from 360. So you don't have this little stop in between. So this should be normally, it's now simple. Let's start it and let's see. We should see a simple animation which contains. Yeah, here it looks like it would stop, but it does not. This is just in the viewport. Good, this works. And now our thing comes. Our expressor comes, but don't be worried. This is a very easy thing. I make a new null. You could do this expressor tag. Take an expressor tag in it. This expressor tag you could put on every object wherever you want, so you don't have to make a null or something else. But I normally make a null and name it expressor or something else. And here, what do we need here? We need, of course, our pendulum. Let's name it pendulum. Okay, need it. So, and of the pendulum, I need I need this axis here. So what I do is simply, I have here my pendulum, simply drag the P axis on the blue corner here, and you have it. You don't have to search it here, the coordinates, blah 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 blah. Simply drag it in and you're done. Then the next thing is I need a time node. So let's go to this magnifying glass here and time. And we have here a time node. In this case, it does not matter if you take time here or a frame. If you take the time, you have 1 second, so the time works as 1 second. But I prefer to take frames, so I delete and take your frames. So 25 frames in this case is 1 second. And I need a range mapper so that the whole thing knows on which frame the rotation should be, which rotation should be, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? It's not easy to explain for me, but when you see it, you will know what I mean. So okay, the easy thing is now in the range mapper. Let's say the first input range is user defined is okay, and what comes out should be a degrees, please. Okay. So on frame, I have here input lower. On input upper, I take 25 frames, so that this is 1 second. And in 1 second, let's say the pendulum should be 50 degrees in both directions, let's say. So it should go from minus 50 degrees to plus 50 degrees. So when I connect everything now, input this and input this to this, you see I have here the 50 degrees. And when I go forward with the frame, you see it goes something like this, but it goes through. The first thing what we see, okay, here we have a mistake, so we should start here with the extrude at 45, but at 45 degrees. But I can try that I only rotate this spline 45 degrees. Okay, so I don't have to, here that is from 0 to 359, and the spline mask is set to 45 degrees, and now when we go through, it goes exactly through it. It's not 100% precise, so not now, so but we can do it. Okay, this is all what we need in the expressor. The only thing now is we have to play with it, because when I play it now, you see, it goes and goes and goes. This is not what we want. For this, we have a modulo here. And the modulo means when you are ready from minus 50 to plus 50, go back to the position where you have been. So that means it does now this boom, boom, but we don't want it like this, of course. We want this smooth, so that it goes here smooth and it goes back smooth. And for this we have here use spline, and we have here a spline. And in the spline we have here a little tiny error. Then we open it, and here down you have load preset. And here we have exactly what we need. We need a Gaussian. And so that means go smooth in one direction, and when you are on the other side, go back in this direction. Should look now like this here. And you see, ui, that's too fast. Because it's once in 1 second the whole thing, so but I need 1 second. Just go here and set this to 50 frames. And now we are through. And in this case you don't see it if it collides, but sometimes it collides here when we have it exactly. Yeah, this could work. Yeah, this could work. But let's say you make it with less with a smaller angle. Not 50 degrees, we can do now, let's say, from minus 10 to plus 10 degrees. That works as the same, so it should work, you see. But now, when we go closer, you see we have here intersection. And when you get something like this, you can work here with the spline points. So when we go to here, let's say, go here to 21. These are the Duncan points, 21. Let's see if this makes some difference, or when we do it like this, we should see. So you can alter this like you want it, when you really want it exactly. But when you do it like I did it, so with angle of 50 degrees, you don't see this, and you see with 50 degrees it looked correct. So minus 50 to 50. Let's see. It seems to be correct here. So I cannot go forward in half frames, but it seems to be correct. So, okay. Good. Yeah, this is this way. So there is not much what to say. This is just this simple thing, and with this, with the time node. With this, you can do almost every animation like this. So this is quite simple thing. And now let's make the second one, what I want to recreate, because there you can use the time node there too, but there it does not work like not so exactly. And then I want to show you what I mean. So I'm just patrons can download later this project file. So this is the reason I make here another so this example one. And put everything inside here and hide this thing here, and I disable the Expressor here. So when you download it, don't forget when you to enable the Expressor here. Okay, and now we make the second thing here. Good. Now we do this blind path. So I want this path now. This and I go in the top view, make a helix, and make the helix here, because we don't make the helix here. So this is in the z-axis. Now I have here the top view, I have the curve I need. So this is, now I'll go to my helix and object and make this 800. See, and this is 4 times the default. 4 times the default. I want now on the end angle 2 times 4. Okay, and here a quarter 50, and we have a nice curve here. but two less segments, and so like here times 4 as well, so 400 here, and everything is round, smooth, nice, exactly how I want it. Now I make a backup folder and put this helix, a copy of this helix inside. Maybe we need it later, don't know. And don't forget every time to save in between. And this helix I make now editable, so C on the keyboard. And of course I don't need the whole helix around, I just want it flat, so I go here to the y-axis, and the height of the y-axis, so the size of the y-axis, I take to 0, and I have my spline path here. Next thing is I make a center the axis here for the spline and say reset PSR, so I have everything in the middle of the scene. Okay. Next step, I want here now a continuous movement of this spline, which is quite easy. So I go to my helix and set it to 200 centimeter to here. Okay, and now go to my helix, and you are in the Z axis here, so set axis, make a keyframe. Then I go to frame 100, go here to 0, which would be a mistake again, so I go to 1. The same with the 360-degree radius, because when I go to 0, I would have on 200 and 0 would have the same frame again. So, and this should now, don't know if I saved it, it's okay. And this should now look like a continuous thing here. Let's see if it's true. And you see, we don't see any stop between or nothing, so this is exactly what we want. Okay, so far so good. Now we want a pendulum again, and this is another pendulum. This looks like this guy here, which shouldn't be a problem to do. So, but first I don't do it with this. I make just a simple cylinder and make it very small. So let's say 1 centimeter here should be more than enough, just to show you the way, and then we make it nicer. And I bring this up here, so 100 centimeters. So it's here. And I would have to make this editable so that I can make the can bring up the axis to here. But we can do another way, because when I want a second object then under it or something else, we can do it with a null here. So I put simply a null on this top here and work with the null. Or you have to do it like this. No, with the null is a better idea. Things. I make a null and bring this null just on the top here. So this should be a 200 centimeter, and simply drag our pendulum. Funny word. Okay, and now when I rotate my null, of course it rotates. And now we have to say, you have to be everywhere when the curve comes, it has to stay here. I make the cylinder for the moment a little longer, so that we have an intersection. It doesn't matter when it's like this, so it's okay. Good. Go back with this here to 0. And what I want now is, first I want an object. I want to make this with a target tag, and so that the null targets an object which moves along the spline. So for the target, I need to take another simple null and say you are the target. And so that we can see it better, let's go to object and make a star or something, like a star. Then this is so we have a nice star, maybe another color. Bring it red, and we have a nice red color. And now I want to move it along the spline. So this is not a problem. Most of you will know how to do it. It's just with a simple tag, align to spline. Good. The spline is of course our helix here. And now we have our here. And I want it here. Okay, so I go with the position up to 75%. Okay, and we are exactly on this point. This is what I want. The next thing is I want that this pendulum, the null of the pendulum targets shows points to here. So I right click on the pendulum and we have here a target tag. And in this target I bring in our target, of course. This is now a little problem because the null shows not here, but this we can do this quite easy when we take our cylinder here. Let's see, bring it to +C. Okay, and we set PSR so it goes to. Okay, and just go with the cylinder down here. So, and I go exactly so far down here so that it looks nice. So we are exactly on this point here. This has not to be exact, this is just to show how it works. So we are now so that when we go with our target here, so with the line to spline, you see this follows. This is exactly what I want. When we would do this with the time node, we would get something like this, but we wouldn't be exactly on the spline every time. So it would go from here to about here and then to here. So this is more than an average thing here. And with this method, you will follow exactly the spline. The only thing what we have to do now is to tell this guy that he has to that it stays here in the animation, because when I animate it now, this is not what I want. So let's go to frame 100. Our helix spline has moved now, and simply first let's go back to 0 and make a keyframe on our position here. Now to frame 100 and go down until you see now I'm here at frame 50. Sorry, I have a phone call. So okay, and now on frame 50% I make another keyframe. That means when we make this animation we get exactly this pendulum thing, and this is exactly what we want. Okay, and the rest what we have to do is simply, this should be now, should stay every time on the exactly on the x-axis. You see it works exactly how we want it. This is because of the view here, so that it looks with the spring or with the stopper, but you see we have no stop, no nothing inside in between. Okay, yeah, so we have this. So let's make a pendulum. So yeah, we make a second cylinder here. Okay, I copy it simply, make it smaller. Whoops, so something like this. Make it 10 is a little too 5 maybe. Bring it down to here, so I have this pendulum. The first one don't have to have 12 is more than enough, and here I make it where is it like a string, so this is okay. The second one, give it a little fillet cap here, so 3 segments with 1 centimeter maybe. Okay, and now we need the path. Save this whole thing and hide it for the moment. So I hide my pendulum, what I do now is I take my helix and I want to make a sweep NURB for the path here to model this. You will see it when I do it. It's easy for me like this. So I make a rectangle. This is far too big, so let's say 15 by 15. 15 height. I don't need the height. 0 height is enough for this. And make with this rectangle and this helix, I make a sweep. So I select my rectangle, Alt click on sweep, and bring the helix inside. See, okay, we have here a path. This is exactly what I want. You see, we got here some problems, but we do this later. Let's hide here the pendulum so that we see the star. But the star does not really disturb me. Huh? No. No. Or? Doesn't matter, so go to object. This is the target I want. I don't just have to hide it. That is enough. And now I just make this sweep NURB here editable. So I make current state object, but first I make here create single object. So everything is then optimized. So and here current state object. I have it here my toolbar. If you don't have it, right click and somewhere you will find current state object here. And I have my sweep. This is my path, and I don't need. I just need the helix, I don't need the sweep here anymore. Okay. Now I select everything and I see, okay, here we have some normals, they are not correctly aligned, but it's no problem. So with Control A you select all the polygons, right click and then align normals, and then you see, okay, all normals are aligned. And I have selected all, and I want to select the outline now, just so nothing else than the outline. And I can do so. When I do this, I just take. I think UQ is the outline selection. Yeah, UQ. So UQ. Go to here, and you see. Okay, this is exactly what I want. And now, with this edges select, I make a thing here, edge to spline. Then you get a spline. Edge to spline you will find under mesh commands, so edge to spline here. Of course it's just available when you have to select. So okay, I don't need the sweep anymore, I just need the spline. This helix spline I can hide too. So, and now we have here some small, it's not problems, but we have to make it little cosmetic. So cosmetics. I go to my edge rectangle selection and just want to delete these points here. They are all the points, they are overlapping. So this is a little work, but not much. So. So shift, hold the shift key to add the selection, hold the control key to subtract the selection. So whoops, so whoops, so and it's not so much, so and we are almost done. This is nothing where I have to fast forward or something else. This is, take it like yoga or something else. Okay, selected everything and just hit delete, and our spline is ready to go. But I don't want really this spline. I want spline mask again. So what I do now is you will see how I do it. Is maybe that if you know better ways to do this, but for me it's the best way, like this, to make this kind of path and this canyon thing. So now I take a rectangle, whoop, so bring it first under this sweep here and make again a reset PSR. But for this I have to first go to the sweep and center the axis here. Then I bring the rectangle under the sweep and reset PSR, and I have the same center point for both things. Then I make this, let's see, 780 here, and here I think 150 should do it. Yep, nice. And I make another spline mask. I'll go to here, I hold my Alt key, so the spline mask, the sweep is inside, this inside. Again, render view, and A subtract B, no, B subtract A, no, with the same problem, then now I know it. A subtract B is not what I want. B subtract A, and I want exactly the one. Why does it? It should work normally, but we have here, I have a problem. Let's see, maybe this. I select all the points or no point. This doesn't matter here. I try and optimize here. Maybe it works then. Let's see if it works now. No. Here it's. I think I know why. We have another small mistake here in the spline, I think. Yeah, here you see. This we have to correct first. But this is no problem again, so just take this, delete it. Nice, we cut it away, so it doesn't matter. But I think that this makes the mistake. It should make it then on this side too, but I don't know why not. So okay, let's see if it works now. Nope. Something wrong with the rectangle here. Oops. Maybe I have to make the rectangle editable, but I don't think so. That should work normally. Go here to along Y. Okay, now it works along Y and it works. Good. And make this spline mask editable. See on the keyboard. Boing. Ready. Next thing is simply bring this in an extrude. So, of course, not in this direction. Let's go in this direction to down here. Yes, it can be quite far. And oops, minus 150. Boing. Okay. Good so far. And I make this whole thing editable again. So make this with my edit optimize script. Boing. And now this should already work quite well. So when I bring back my pendulum here, you see we are exactly inside here. That's nice. And yeah, the only thing, of course, what does not work is now only the helix runs, and not our thing here. There are two ways now. You can bring the extrude here under the helix. That would simply solve our problem. But this is not what I want. And The nice one now, you see, we are totally centered every time with this, so we know where we hit the walls or something else, so it works perfect. But what I want, when you do something like this, maybe I make more on it, and so I make it like this. I take the extrude, make a character tag, and this is the constraint tag. And here I can say constraint parent. This is nothing but the same what I did now. The helix becomes a parent of this extrude, and I just have in the parent tab dragging the helix. This is exactly the same like it would be under the helix, but I prefer this one so I can better work with it. So I need just a position, I don't need rotation, and I don't need scale, and this should work now as well. Nice. Good, and of course if you have now this camera here, and so it should look like we have an infinite thing here, and this works perfect. Good. Next thing, make it a little nicer. Yeah, I make a bevel on it, but I don't want to bevel it everywhere. I just want the top. This is a very easy thing, so I go in my polygon selection, the light selection, so this one and this one, and again I make an outline selection. So with UQ, I have here outline selection. I click on it, go back to the polygon selection, and now I hold my shift click and do the other side of the outline selection. So now I have selected both sides, and again, not again, now we don't make a spline thing, we just make a set selection. So you see we get here a selection tag with the edge selection. I don't need these two here. This is just for our bevel. And if you don't have the set selection, you find it under select, here set selection. Okay. And this is just, as I said, just for our bevel. So I make now the extrude here, shift click on bevel deformer, and drag in the selection tag here, so then don't use an angle. And you see it works perfect. 0.5 should be enough here. We can hide our helix here again. Okay. In the original one, we have here a little carve. Let's make this two. And this should go quite easy. So let's go to edge mode, and KL is the loop cut, or you can do it. No, loop cut should work. But let's make it with the plane cut, so we have cut it all. So KJ is the plane cut. I go to local XC, so I should be able, yep, and make here cut here and a cut here, something like that. Okay. Polygon mode UL for loop selection. So we have here the loop selection and here as well. So everything should be selected. D for extrude, and extrude it a little to the inside. Okay. Now I make another edge selection. So I go to my edge selection, UL for loop selection. I select this loop, hold the shift key, this loop, this loop, this loop, and on the other side the same. This, and I make another set selection. Be careful, watch that you don't have selected this selection tag. If you would have this selected, it would override it, so that this is, we don't want it, we want the second selection tag. So we have this is the selection small. I just want to make small bevels here. And for this I can simply copy this this bevel and drag it underneath. Bring the other edge selection inside. Let's see, we have it here. And make this much smaller, so 0.1 maybe. Now we have here the big and here the small one. Okay. We can still make this whole thing a little smaller. Yeah, I want it a little smaller. So this is still selected, our selections here. This is if it wouldn't be selected like this, just double click on this, and now we can, with T for scale, we can scale this just in the y-axis, so we make it a little narrower. So that looks maybe a little better. Okay, and let's see how this looks like when we would render it. So something like that. Yeah, that looks nice. So we have nice bevels everywhere, everything looks fine. Good, now what we need is just 2 cubes on the sides. I want this pendulum here, this thicker one. 0.5, yeah, that is better. Okay, then we find a nice position for the camera, but first I make the left and the right, I make such simple cube. T for scale. So bring the cube a little down. E. Should be about the same height here, like. So I know this cube is 200 high, so or 100 high. Oh, what is this cube? This point should be at 0, so our cube size is 70. Make our cube size 100, so I can go to the size here. 100, so, and now I'm minus 50. And now I'm exactly the same, huh? And we have here a bevel of 0.5, I think, yes. So let's go to our cube here. Go to fillet, radius 0.5, and 3 is enough. Okay, just bring this to the side here. So something. We can change this later on too, so, but and make it. So then I copy this whole cube here, bring it to the other side, something like that. And I want it like this, so that the whole display is filled with it. So this is a little bigger here. Here we sit down, but I want a different camera angle. So let's make a camera. Okay. Yeah, I will render this first with the Octane renderer, but so we might need a Octane camera later, but we need just the text. So what I want is here how to focus. Let's see, 80. So now I think it looks quite nice. Let's see how this looks. Perfect, I would say. Take this cube here and bring it a little closer to the other one. So let's render this. looks great. Save it and make the camera protected. So I do not really need a camera tag here for the Octane because I don't need. No, it doesn't matter. Give it a camera tag, Octane tag. Camera, okay. And so we could start to texture and render this thing. Let's see how if we. Yeah. Not much difference, though, I would say. Good, so let's see, let's make a simple glossy material here. Okay, this is the middle one, let's name it middle. Okay, and I'm going to, I want, now that I forgot to save my last layout where I had it in. So I want the color, RGB color, new views. I want the color of the original one. So let's see if this works. I don't know if this works here with this thing with the eyedropper. So I click on my eyedropper. Can I go to here? And yeah, the eyedropper still works. So I can take a color from here. Okay, the color is here. Good. And now bring it on the middle thing here. So in the middle I want it. So this was the extrude here. Whoop. Okay. And of course I don't want it so glossy, so stop the render and then I've also make it okay and do it again. Okay, of course I need now a float here for the roughness. Make it a little rough. Yeah, that looks not bad, maybe not so rough. And let's bring in my OCTANE rig, of course, to lighten the scenes. We don't need much. It would be enough if I bring in an Octane sky with HDRI. This would be enough for this. But of course, I use my thing here, my OCTANE rig, HDRI. I don't need a floor here, of course. Good. So HDRI here is okay. Then we have some white sprinkles or whatever this is, glitter, flitter. So let's flakes or something else. So let's make these flakes. For this, I bring this away and make a mixed node, not a mixed texture, a mixed node. And take the mixed node instead of the multiplier because I can play with the amount. So I go with this color here, diffuse here, and then I make a noise. And if you use a Cinema 4D noise, you should go in the Octane settings here, in the C4D shader, you should go up at least to 2K. This is enough for the. So make here a mixed texture. But the amount I will do with the float. Float. There would be other ways too. I could make a green and a white mix with an amount and in the amount a noise or something else, but there are many ways to do this. So we see not much because it's far too big here. Noise you see, and you see I have the wrong projection here. So I go to here and say I want here a cubic projection. Okay, and I want not this noise. I want dense. These are sharper things, and I want very high contrast and go up to here so I get less of them. So maybe 5%. Okay, nice. And now I can, with the float texture, I can say I want to see it not or more or less. I just want to see it something like this here. Okay, maybe a little more glossy here. Yeah, now I see a little glossy here. Okay. And for the outer cubes I make almost the same, so the same, just a little darker. So I copy this one, take this one, and then here I don't need, here I do it a little different. I just take the green color, bring this on the two cubes, 1, 2. Yeah, I wouldn't have to make a cubic mapping because we don't see the sides, but I make it anyways. And make the color here a little darker. And a little noise inside, but not here. I make the noise in the specular. So go to my noise. And bring it in the specular. Then we make this a little smaller here. You see, we have a little noise. So it's just to have some distortions inside or something. Maybe now there's my mouse has some problems, I think. It makes always a double click where I want to make one click. Okay, yeah, this is nice. So, and now a simple metal material, and we are done. Yeah, metal material is quite easy. Materials, metallic material, little roughness, float, roughness. I said a little roughness. And bring this to our pendulum thing. And the string I make with the chrome as well, so that we won't see this. And it looks great. And our picture is ready. Our picture is done. The original one, here is ours. Nice. And yeah, and this should render really fast. So I stop here, go here to the OCTANE render. 720 is okay for now. All frames, let's see how long this takes, and make here in the render settings. I don't really need 300 should do it for this. I think it should be enough with 300, and just hit render. Yes, I want to render it. Let's see how far. Yeah, you see that's 1 second a frame, so this is should be okay. Okay, I am back when it's done. So a little break. See you in a second. Okay, we are done. As we said, you see 1 second the frame rate we have now this year. And this is, I think, a really good result. We can be happy with it. Okay, so now, yeah, let's texture this with the physical render too. But you know, this is a very easy thing, so. Good, let's save this with all assets. On the desktop, why not? Pendulum, Octane. Okay. And now let's delete here things. Let's delete this here. See, we would not have, we wouldn't need the tag here, but what chance? Let's delete the. I really have to buy a new mouse. Good. So delete the OCTANE rig, and of course bring in the Nikomedias Scene Rig. Whoop. Double click, of course. This is a bit, that is not so funny, so. And again. Good, so let's bring in here, so don't need a floor. Boing, boing, boing. Okay. And let's make these materials, the green material. I'm not sure if this works here as well with the eyedropper here. When I click on it, hold it, Alt Tab for the Windows user. It works here as well. So, quite nice. Good. And we need a little noise inside, so we can here go to noise. We know we want dense, and we want it at 5%, and oops, and we want very high contrast, and we want not much of them. So let's see what we get when we put this on our extrude here. Extrude this here. So material, extrude. Now it looks, of course, it looks black. We have to go here to multiply. And this should normally give us a green thing then, which is a little it's the wrong thing I see. Let's go to that. Why not? Oh, I'm on Octane here. That's the reason I see nothing here. I have to go to low GI. Yes. Okay. That's okay. Maybe too many flakes. That's the correct flakes. Less flakes. Okay, but they're not really. Makes no difference here, I see. Oh, it makes a difference. Yeah, okay. Good. And here we have a roughness of 10%. This is okay. Well, maybe give it 15. Let's see. Yeah, 15 is better. Copy this material. Go out here and go in my render settings, low GI, and set it to this is not good to work with this mouse. Okay. Good, so copy this one, control drag it to the side, make it a little darker, whoops, so something like that, on the cube, and bring in here just a little noise. We could do this in the bump channel too, or in the diffusion channel, or not. We make the same like an octane. We do it in the reflectance channel. Reflection strength here, so, and here we brought in a noise. Key and 20% scale, something like that. Should give us something. Show us something. Okay. This is, let's go to 50. Okay. But the texture is okay here. The color is a little too dark. And too yeah, that's better. So now don't want it so yeah, that's nicer. But I want here the reflected channel. This is, make it here gray, so we should see less of. Yeah, that's better. That's now better. Okay. Nice. And now we need a simple metal material. And the metal material is done very, very quick. To make a copy of it. And stop the rendering here. So clear this one here. Don't need color. Wing, Fresnel, conductor, chromium, and we should be happy. Why not so? And render it again. Okay, and let's see how long needs middle render for this. I make just one. Current frame is okay, so and render it. But the middle is not enough, I think, here for this one. 17 seconds is okay, but as I said here, it's a little. But this you could bring away with a little post work in After Effects somewhere, or you'd simply go a little higher with the settings. So in the middle, and here the blurriness subdivision. Let's go here to 3 and render it again. Yeah, it's still this grain, a little grain here. Okay, let's see if you see difference. It is a little. I don't know if you see it in the recording. It is a little difference, but at high it would take too long, I think. Of course, I would do it because you can render it overnight or something else. So let's make a high render. So let's see how long this takes. Yeah, this takes a little longer. But of course, the quality is of course much better. This is take a minute about. Good, we don't have to render this now. Ready. But I think we got a really nice thing here. So don't need to render it ready. We can really be happy with our thing here. Okay. So that's it. I hope you like this one. And yeah, I hope you are with me in my next tutorial. And yeah, what we do next, I can't say. I cannot go at least one after the other. It's not impossible. This is because sometimes I find more time, sometimes I find less time. Sometimes, yeah, much things are on my list. The people never ask again. If you ask me something, or you made a request, please, when I don't do it in a month or something, please remind me again, because sometimes I simply forget it too. And yeah, I know it is on my list, but then I think no. But when I know that someone waits longer, then I try to make this as next thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, so far so good. Yeah, we have our result for now. Yay! Good. If you have questions, if you have requests, if you have complaints, please write me in the comments. Every plugin or everything I use here you will find in the description. And yeah, more is not to say. If you want to donate, you can do so, and I would be very happy. You know, I need a new mouse. Please donate. And yeah, if you want to donate, you find the link in the description, or you want to support me on Patreon, you can do this as well, and you will find this link, of course, in the description. So yeah, that's for now. That's it, and I wish you a great weekend. So yeah, and do it well. Do nothing what I wouldn't do, and yeah. Anyways, I wish you a wonderful time and best regards here from Vienna. And so I say tschüss und baba.